let's now turn our attention to a raging, or should I say a burning issue at this point. It's very topical. But a group calling itself the Dynamic Youth Movement of Ghana has petitioned the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, that's CHRAJ, calling for fresh investigations into allegations against 2 deputy chiefs of staff. This issue just won't go away. Musician Kwame Asare-Obeng, also known as A+, months ago, accused deputy chiefs of staff Samuel Abu Jinapor and Francis Asenso-Boakye of engaging in corrupt acts. The police CID waded into the matter, investigated and concluded that the allegations were baseless. Now, an audio recording of the musician speaking to the Deputy Director General of the CID, Mamia Tiwa, has since gone viral, with the police couple describing it as doctored. She is heard in the tape saying their investigations have confirmed that the accusation by A+ was, he's asking him not to pursue the matter. We will be engaging the convener of the group shortly, but first, we can hear from the Deputy Chief of Staff speaking on the Super Morning Show today, Samuel Abu Jinapor, and he said that the audio is of no value.
Assuming without admitting, and a very emphatic assumption without admitting, with a lot of emphasis. This conversation took place before the police spoke to us, and we have been told there's a suggestion that the content of the tape proves that we are corrupt. It is a basic cardinal principle of law anywhere in the world that you cannot pronounce a man guilty unless you hear from him. It is so fundamental. In law, we call it odi oteram pattern. You cannot say Mr. A or Madam A or Mr. B or Madam B is guilty when you have not heard from him. At the time this so-called, and I repeat, so-called conclusion or suggestion or observation of guilt had been pronounced in the tape, we, the two of us, Mr. Asenso-Boakye and myself, had not been spoken to. How on, and then that's, again, let me keep repeating that. Let's even grant that the content of the tape is correct. How are you going to justify a pronouncement of guilt on a man when you haven't heard from me? Kojo, this principle is so fundamental that a justice of the Supreme Court of our country drew an analogy between God, the Almighty, omnipotent God, trial of Adam, when he asked him, why did you eat the forbidden apple? And Adam put up a spirited defense, said, Eve is the one who asked me. Eve put up her defense, said, the serpent. God went through a full trial. The God who could just lift his finger and pronounce guilt. Justice Sowa said, even God went through that trial. So a man must always be given his day. He must always be heard from. He must always be given a right of response before guilt can be pronounced. So assuming without admitting that this tape was even correct, it will fall. It will fall just like that. On account of this, we had not been spoken to. So how could anybody come to the conclusion of guilt? But like I said, the police have said that the tape itself was doctored.
So Mr. Jinapor also spoke about his assessment of the work done by the police CID. He believes it was rigorous.
What is important is that these are the bare facts, this is the truth. Thank God, a reputable institution such as the Ghana Police Service, the Criminal Investigation Department, a panel of four top investigators headed by the Director General himself. And the day we went there was something that dawned on me. I was very happy. Conceptually, a deputy chief of staff can be held and summoned to the police, and it took 2.5 hours, questions after questions, interrogation upon interrogation. They've come out with their verdict. I don't have a problem if anybody wants to take it anywhere else. The facts are here. Any reasonable tribunal that goes into this matter, even I'm not too sure. I'm very sure that a reasonable tribunal will not conclude on a prima facie case in a matter like this because there's no issue. Motives, let's leave motives out. You're a politician, you're a public servant. You must be talked about. It's not a problem. That one, let's leave it there.
So that's the Deputy Chief of Staff, Samuel Jinapor, there, breaking his silence on this whole issue since it broke. Of course, like I said earlier, a group, that's the group calling itself the Dynamic Youth Movement of Ghana, they have petitioned CHRAJ to be able to investigate this matter. I am joined in the studio by Edward Tutor. He's the convener of that group. And welcome to Pulse.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So what could inform such a decision to petition CHRAJ to investigate an issue that the police CID has concluded on?
All right, thank you very much. I believe that corruption is a matter that is very serious in any nation. In fact, one of the issues that has militated against the development of Ghana, and for that matter, Africa, has been the issue of corruption. That is why our group or our organization, we stand for good governance and we stand for accountability. On that premise, we have a keen interest in any allegation of corruption that is leveled against any individual. So we were happy that the police came out with their investigations and they said that the accusation made by A+ is baseless. We clapped for the Ghana Police Service. And once again, it reinforced the trust that we have in them. Then we have this tape coming out. And in the tape, the content was actually a negotiation of facts, a negotiation of evidence, to the extent of the police officer asking A+ to come and make an amendment by removing certain portions of his own statement. And you know, when you go to the police station, you make a statement and you sign. And you make a signature of your statement at the very last line where your statement ended. That is where you make your signature, which means it is closed. Any other statement that comes after the signature will be deemed false. You understand? So what interest would the police have to push A+ to come and make certain withdrawal of its own statement?
So you're making
that raises serious
so your
issues.
petition is basically or is based on this tape that is in circulation. But you've also heard Mami Tiwa and the police service, Madam Olivia Texan, was all over yesterday defending the fact that this tape is doctored and that the police is investigating that tape. So why would you base all your issues or your petition to CHRAJ based on that tape?
Okay, all right, thank you. The emergence of this particular tape raises two issues. Number one, the credibility and the integrity of the Ghana Police Service in this particular matter has been brought into question. We cannot trust the Ghana Police Service anymore.
Why is that?
Secondly, you wait, kindly give me time. Secondly, the authenticity of the report that was brought earlier, which sought, quote and unquote, to clear the accused persons of their allegations, that report has also come into doubt because of the emergence of this particular tape.
But that report was accepted by both parties, including A+ himself.
You know, truth is truth. And truth stands. If everything was done right by the Ghana Police Service, there should be no cause for alarm if there's a call for an independent body to come and do the same thing that you have done.
But it will be a waste of public resources,
it will be a waste.
Because the police is mandated to do that as well. They've done a thorough job, come out with a report, and you want CHRAJ to also take up the same issue and you know, use public resources to also start a whole investigative process when in fact that has been concluded on and said that it was baseless.
The cardinal issue here is corruption. We have not even delved into the supposed corruption which is happening at Kolebu that has brought this whole saga. We don't know how much money is going into private pockets. We don't know the quantum of our nation's resources that is being used up or being mismanaged over there. So we cannot conclude, even if we are to do a cost-benefit analysis, we cannot conclude that what will be spent by CHRAJ on this matter is even less than what is even being mismanaged over there at Kolebu. In any case, democracy is expensive. If we want a governance system that will bring progress and make Ghana a better place for even posterity, we should be ready to spend anything once it will bring us good results. So we are not in the position to castigate the Ghana Police Service. We are not in the position.
That's what is being said. Because at the time that we are trying to fight to strengthen our existing institutions, and then the Ghana Police Service does work, and then your group comes out to say that the work that they've done, you're bringing it into question and want the CHRAJ to also do the same work that they've done. Are we not trying to bring down an institution that we are all fighting to strengthen?
Let me tell you one thing. The inspiration to petition CHRAJ came from our interaction with the good people of Ghana. I visit trotro stations, I visit restaurants, and Ghanaians are talking. And most people are even concluding that Ghana, if you don't have money or you are not of a certain pedigree in society, you should even take your case to the Ghana Police Service. People are gradually losing confidence in the Ghana Police. And you know, if it is established that the Ghana Police Service has certain elements within it that compromise on truth, that are being economical with the truth, and citizens lose confidence, people are going to take the law into their own hands, and it can plunge this nation into chaos and anarchy. That is why we should all be on the side of truth. He who alleges must prove. And if you claim you stood by truth and it is justice that you stood for, even if there will be 10 other independent investigations to do all that you have done, you should not be afraid. You understand? Because the truth will surely stand, no matter what. Or you don't agree with me?
So this, I don't have to agree with you or disagree with you, but has this petition been sent to the CHRAJ already? Have you forwarded this petition to CHRAJ?
Oh yes, we have.
Have you heard from them? When was this petition sent?
They actually acknowledged receipt of the petition, and I think we are going to hear from them, maybe either in writing, inviting us to also. But you are confident
that CHRAJ will do a good job?
Oh yes. So far, CHRAJ has not let us down. So the trust that
and
we
you
have.
And you are ready to go the full haul, because I'm sure that it will take quite some time.
No matter how long it will take, DIMOC is prepared to contribute its quota to make sure that justice is served on this matter.
Mr. Tito, we're grateful for your time. He's the convener of the Dynamic Youth Movement of Ghana, and they have petitioned CHRAJ to investigate that same issue, the corruption allegations and thievery allegations leveled against Chief of Staff Mr. Samuel Abu Jinapor and Mr. Francis Asenso-Boakye, those allegations. And we'll get to follow that issue and see how it pans out.